Hey guys, welcome to another awesome episode of Boxpod, and we are on episode 84. Yeah, soon we're going to start our countdown to 100, and we'll tell you about that. But right now, hi.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
Great.
All right. Very short
Where's
week.
the rest of your top?
It's by a really awesome designer. Her name is Sharon.
I have the same piece.
Huh?
I have the same. You see the way he's rocked?
If
No.
I have
The same one.
The same one,
Yeah.
plus the shorts.
It's called
stop joking.
Regalia
Sharon. Shout out to Sharon.
Silver
Machi.
uniform.
Oh my God, let's all wear matching outfit, guys.
No, guys.
You're matching with Gilly,
No.
so that's okay.
Gilly's back in the building, guys.
Gilly's back.
Let me ask you, Joyce, Wait, did you used to be wearing matching clothes with your sibling?
Yeah. I like it.
You liked it?
No, I want to wear like matching outfits with like my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like my bae.
Yo, you can't wait for that Christmas.
I cannot wait. Like for real.
Pajamas.
I actually cannot wait. It doesn't have to be like matching, just like coordinated. You know what I mean? Like you can tell there was like effort that went into like almost looking the same.
Wow. All right. So
I
we're
know, I'm very
manifesting
cheesy.
for Joyce Machi.
Thank
boyfriend.
you.
You know, the worst part is if you fall in love with someone who hates these things.
Yeah.
They'll have
It's
to
gonna
love
be
them.
crazy.
No, imagine they'll have to love them. I did it once. Still there on the internet. It was
You
not
did it once on the internet.
No, like the picture is still there on the internet. I did the whole matching couple outfit.
Really?
Yeah, like 2020.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I don't have that person to like show up on this podcast.
Yo, run the tape.
Run the tape. Oh.
But you look cute,
Yeah,
though.
I like it.
I like it.
Can we put a clown face on the
But
Yeah.
also, Joyce, can I just say, Joyce seems different in relationships.
Yeah.
I am different in
Yeah.
relationships.
Okay, me too, bro. I'm telling you guys, if we put that out there,
Yo, I'm
I
all
have to be-
soft and whatever.
I have to fanya for you guys like act like you can see me. Don't just keep walking.
Yeah, my whole
Why?
mantra is confuse the enemies. Out here, I talk like I hate men, but I love love. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Confuse the
man.
enemies. You'll never know.
It's a persona.
Yeah.
All right, my persona a few months ago told you about the real truth that Kisii people are geniuses. Guys, and I know I say this with all love and respect to all communities that exist.
All communities
but
alike.
let's just be honest. While you guys were paliliaing,
Wow.
You are actually
while some of you
so
were just doing this
rude.
hunting for bush rats, right? Kisiis were doing open brain surgery. And I told you this story. Do you remember?
No, you told us, and
Yeah.
I think I didn't doubt you because I told even
Run the
C-sections.
Here from Traverse Culture, and I am here giving you another exclusive interview right here in Kisii. And I'm not sure if you all have seen this video going around on the internet where they were doing open brain surgery before Ben Carson did in the United States. And that particular village was right here in Kisii, and I'm here with a survivor that's 102 years old, and she actually had the surgery.
So there you have it. Look, Kisiis have been doing this since before the white man. By the way, this is not until we learnt it from Europeans.
Yeah.
They came and found us doing brain surgery. This is actually one of the first information I
Well
was
done.
ever told about my community.
Oh, well done.
Right?
Yeah.
We called the rain like it was a science proven that we know how to make the rain drop. And then number 2, we also know how to do brain surgery.
Clearly.
So guys, let me tell you something. Okay? Akili mtu wangu.
Akili mtu wangu.
Akili
mtu wangu.
You know,
Science.
We love
you know
to see it.
this.
Mtu asiwahi waambia ati mzungu aliwaletea science.
Yeah,
Hapo
actually,
tuletea
on that
anything.
saying science, like it's a whole lot. This is before we were told antibiotics were invented. See that babe, or rather the grandmother, her skull has healed.
Man.
And bila
How do you
antibiotics.
think they did
But
that?
you know what it is, yeah? Okay, and it's going to sound racist, but when the colonizer came, they came with diseases.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things
Yeah.
that we experience, like even things like antibiotics,
Yeah.
not antibiotics, penicillin, which is to clean that. We
didn't
necessarily
need
didn't
them.
need
Yeah.
So we had our own ways of doing this. And I said, leta moto. Leta ile kisu.
Weka nini?
Ile ya kutairi.
No,
Ulipanguza hiyo kisu. Let
And
the
you know,
women iko hivyo.
that's why
They
even,
trauma
like-
it and they just kata your head, Megan. This thing had just come from doing circumcision, Jana.
Umaze.
Yeah, and that's why even things like people like herbalists were like very well respected. Akwa wachawi. You go to that person, tell them, oh, na feel hivi na hivi, anakwambia, go take this plant, go do this, we'll put them together. The ones who came and decided to make it into like a business and be like, oh, we have the antibiotic. Where do you think they learned all of those things?
I wonder what
properties of plants and
Yeah.
things that are supposed to help you with certain issues. Even C-sections. It did start in Europe. I think, I don't know if it was Uganda, guys, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but even C-sections, they learned how to do C-sections from us. Like midwives were doing it so successfully. The mortality rate of the mother and the child was very low. Like they were not losing the child or the mom.
Yeah.
There was like a way they were doing it, and then someone came, they learned from us, and then they were like, I have invented.
Yeah,
Okay.
you gotta say it in
C-sections.
English.
You know?
Enyewe mwarubaini like heals 40 diseases. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder
Yo.
even more. I wonder what they used for anesthesia, because you mentioned
Right?
circumcision and like it's just got me thinking of circumcision.
They don't use
Yeah, there's no anesthesia. They wake you up early in the morning.
We do not use anesthesia. Ukiona machalina hiyo soprano. Falsetto. Mtu aliweka
mliingia hapo ndani mkaeka factory setting.
hawezi
Mliweka
wika.
factory
Baby, let me
setting.
tell you. True story, right? And as we digress, right? So I remember the first time I was in Shags and I had guys singing, right? And I was like, what is that? And they were walking on the Nini heading towards the river. I remember being told, oh, it's circumcision, right? And there's a particular song they sing. I'm very proud to sing it for you. Oh yo, oh yo, oh yo. And the whole village is singing, right? And taking the Nini. But let me tell you now, this is where the bullshit begins. The reason why Kisis have falsetto.
Yeah.
Maze, hawezi unakatwa kama umekasa. Na hawezi hata onesha ati veins sijui nini. You should be like, see, nothing is even happening. Ati kwanza unafaa kuwa ukichapa story, by the way, and then as the guys sianging you, right? So unajua kukaza yote paka sasa ndio
Umezoea.
sauti ikapotea.
So si factory setting, si
Sasa
mko na nini?
akiongea sasa ile scream yenye alikuwa anafaa kutoa huko ndio inatoka sahi. No, but for real though, msikuwe mnaongea vibaya juu akisi.
I'm sorry.
We've been doing a lot of things even before the white man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's really dope.
And I say this, and why I'm excited to tell you this is because there are so many other things communities were doing as Africans.
As Africans,
that
yeah.
the average Kenyan right now does not know what
that
the
it
ancestor
started
was doing.
with
So
us, yeah,
unapata
yeah.
mtu anakuambia ati, oh, if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to hell. I'm like, so your ancestor musioka the fast.
Walienda wapi?
Musioka the fast and end straight to hell.
I was told my ancestor was the first person to ride a bicycle. I mean, the first black person to ride a bicycle. My grandmother told me this. Stop looking at me like that. But yeah,
No,
as in,
it's
that's an
'cause-
achievement.
Because we know
I
your
you
community.
guys
So
on,
no, wait.
on brain surgery, at least sisi tuli ride bike like we are riders.
Lakini hiyo bike hamkutengeneza.
Ambitions of a ride.
Mulitengeneza hiyo
See
bike.
me rolling.
Mulinunua.
No, apparently, so
hating.
allegedly,
Ndio
that
maana
bike,
mnapenda baiskeli hivyo?
that bike, the chief was given so that he can like
Give slaves.
sell out
I know.
other people from like minority
Mumias.
communities.
Were you from the Mumia
Yeah.
community?
Wait,
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
hear this story.
I can tell.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It
Yeah.
was a bribe.
See, they were collaborators. Collaboration.
Mumia
like,
Wanga was a
it was-
full collaborator.
It was like he was given a bicycle together with other things. So he was that guy.
He was a sellout.
While everybody is walking here.
At least
Riding that thing knowing he sold out his community.
At
Yeah.
least- yeah.
Stop, guys.
Think about it.
You can't catch him.
In
though.
those days, that was like that was like a Tesla. Right? Back in the day, that bicycle was like a Tesla.
Yeah.
Right? It was full
Yeah,
Tesla.
for
Yeah.
real.
I don't even know where
Ilikuwa
we're even-
miujiza.
I don't even know where we're going even far. Guys, just the other day, when I was in primary school, you'd see a lot of people with bicycles, black mambas on the road.
Yeah.
Right? It was
Yeah,
normal.
yeah, it was normal.
Where do you think that came from? The African first had a donkey.
A
And then
donkey.
they slowly they brought in bicycles, right? And then the first car.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
sat with someone who their dad was the first person to own a vehicle in Kenya.
Yeah.
Right? So small things like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you see at that point when you're the only one who has the car, it's like the only one who has a drone that can
Or like a TV.
Taxi.
Remember, like there was that one house that like had like a PS or like a, yeah.
right? But you mumia maze bicycle for people. I went to
Sell out.
Nigeria. There's
Yeah.
a guy who was selling umbrellas. That he was a chief like mumia. He was a king.
Yeah.
Unajua hii umbrella yenye sahii wanafanya kuuza smoky hapo nje.
Yeah.
Unaona hiyo umbrella?
Eh.
They gave him that.
70 people, one umbrella.
Stop lying.
I promise you. You know me, I've been to many gates of point of no return where
Aliona
slaves
banana
left.
leaf
I think I've
nini.
literally gone to all of them except Cameroon,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
Umbrella.
Right? So every place where slaves are like, okay, no,
Those
I'm not
castles,
going to
right?
Comoros. I'm not going to Comoros.
Have you gone to Senegal? You've gone to
I've
Senegal?
gone to Senegal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've gone to Ghana. I've gone pretty much that whole
What?
West African
Yeah,
stretch I've done
yeah.
except Cameroon
Yeah.
and Liberia. But them, they were coming back.
Yeah.
And every place you go, they tell now
That
there's
story.
the evidence of, okay, so like
Yeah.
in a room like this, they'd have like maybe 300 slaves. And you're here for
And
like
there's no
maybe 3
bathroom.
years. There's no window.
There's no
It's
window,
small
there's
window
no
like
bathroom.
that.
Guys.
And there,
In
in
that window is
300
big.
women and your children, you're in here. There's no windows, nothing.
And you stay there for years because like it takes a while before that ship goes and comes back and another ship comes.
And you're not even guaranteed. My guy, you can get sick.
Yeah.
Nasema
And
tupa hiyo kitu
die.
over the nini. And they throw you over the nini. So yeah. So
And then
slavery
if you're
is crazy.
in there, they don't atichoma the sick ones, sijui ati so that you
Mukufe
infect
tu
the
pamoja.
others. The ones who chomoka are the fit ones. So like those ones are the ones that
So
will
the
go
ones
and
who
nini.
die are just left there just
You're
to...
thrown
Yeah.
overboard. Hakuna space here, dead weight. What do you mean? They're thrown overboard.
Guys,
And
that's
also
so
you're not
sad.
you don't sit in the at hivi ati na tunafika hii America lini hapana. You know, have you
You're
ever seen a
pangwed.
packet of Matchbox?
Yeah.
You see how the nini sticks are line?
Yeah.
That's how you're pangwad. So
Hadi
head,
mtosheni
toes, head,
wote.
toes, head. Munalalishwa hivi. Until you get to. So if you become sick, if anything happens to you, they just say, number 350, you're not acting responsive, throw overboard. Right. So slavery was messed up,
That
right?
is disgusting.
Let's move on from the story for slavery.
Yeah, please.
Our first story. Since we are speaking of slavery, right? And I'm so glad that Africans are slowly starting to understand their history. And I
Yeah,
like that
true,
we started
true.
to see history.
Yeah.
In America,
Ah,
things have hit the fan.
what
I
is-
know you guys didn't watch it. It's why I watched it for you.
It's okay.
So what happened was
Ah.
South Africans and the world woke up to the news that
Yeah.
all this time,
Yeah.
for over 100 years,
100 years.
people in New Orleans have been celebrating the Zulu festival.
Okay.
Zulu Carnival. Have you heard Zulu Carnival?
I've never
In
had...
New Orleans.
What is the
Nah,
first
bruh.
thing that pops in your head when you hear Zulu Carnival? Let's go around the room.
Shaka.
Bas.
Shaka Zulu,
Okay, that's
dancing and the things and throwing legs in the air and the attire. Love it.
Bas.
Yeah.
You know, leopard skin.
Yeah.
Right? Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
They didn't have enough leopard skin, so they'll have one for here, one for
One
here.
for here.
Yeah.
So, New Orleans, man, they were celebrating this Zulu Carnival. Kama
Okay.
kawaida.
New
It's an
Orleans.
annual thing. New Orleans, bro.
I didn't know
Lean
that.
with it. New Orleans. So, they were doing their thing over there. Then they posted videos on TikTok. Hey, one South African watched that video akisema, is this a joke? What is happening? And so it became a beef between New Orleans and South Africa. I'm going to pause here because this is the first place. And at this point we say,
Run.
the tape.
South Africans are furious about this. There have been several videos going viral of a Zulu parade in New Orleans in the United States. And what's made so many people angry is how they are dressed and how what they are wearing looks nothing like traditional Zulu attire. The Americans who support the Zulu parade say this is a tradition they have been doing in New Orleans for decades and that South Africans are misinterpreting it. Americans have defended this parade by saying it actually has nothing to do with the real Zulu tribe in South Africa. They say it's just the name. However, on the side of the bus, it literally says African Zulu. Also, if you go onto their official website, there are many references to the actual Zulu tribe in South Africa. For example, one of their characters is known as a Zulu witch doctor. A witch doctor is a South African name and a South African term. It literally says here on the site, in Zulu's ancestral land of Africa, the witch doctor is referred to as a sorcerer, prophet, or healer. So it seems this group does link itself to the actual Zulu tribe. So
Look at that face.
Oh. Why blackface though?
As in,
Why?
exactly. So immediately everybody saw that. The first thing was blackface.
Yeah, for real. Even me, I'm like, the fuck? Sorry.
Exactly. So that's part one. So part two, let's see more of that face and exactly why would we be upset?
This one?
Not that while South Africans came out and said this stuff seems wrong, New Orleanians, I'm not going to say Black Americans, New Orleanians went in on South Africans. By the way, guys, I urge you to go on TikTok after this,
Why
after you
the
finish
face,
watching to the end
though?
of this video, to go and follow that beef and see how, you know, how New Orleans were defending themselves, saying that this is their culture, right? They were taken away from Africa, and so the white man separated them. Remember, the white man would also have his own carnival in New Orleans, right? And they would deny blacks to participate in.
Yeah.
So they had to make their own. You get that part.
That's fine.
Number two, note that when they were taken to America, they cut them off from knowing what was happening in Africa.
True.
In fact, if you want to know some of the most ignorant people about Africa, it is African Americans, right? I'm sure you've seen the small tips that have been boiling over on TikTok, right?
I actually thought that's what you were talking
No,
about. I
bro.
didn't know there was a whole Zulu
My
thing.
guy. So let's watch more footage so that we understand why would these people be defending themselves and saying that's how, because they're saying that they never used to see South Africans. They never, like, you've been taken away so long. Like now your grandmother is telling you about like your ancient times, which you've never seen. You've never seen pictures of. The lady I was telling you about brain surgery. You guys,
But you can't use
until
that
you saw
excuse
it,
now. You
Hold
know.
on. Until you saw it,
Yeah.
you thought maybe it was just like some different. But when you saw him chomoying the cover, is when you're
Yeah.
like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So they are also saying they never saw South African culture. So this is all that they knew all this time. But my argument is that this seems like it was approved by the white guy to continue to put the black man down.
Exactly.
Let's watch more footage.
Do you remember when we told the people of New Orleans that the Zulu parade is offensive to the actual Zulu culture? We even told them that we don't mind them celebrating African culture, but can they please do it respectfully and properly, or change the name of the parade completely? Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when they hurled insults at us? Do you remember when a lady came on here and said, we need to back up because we are messing with people who practice voodoo? New Orleans is flooding 48 days ahead of hurricane season. Where's your voodoo now? I remember when we laughed when she said, we're messing with people who practice voodoo. Have you been to Africa? We sell lightning in bottles. We sell strokes in bottles. Just so that someone can actually get a stroke. We sell that in bottles.
Just to give you an update, this beef deteriorated, guys.
My guy.
It degenerated into people were showing inside their houses so that they can show New Orleans people that Africa is not a bush.
Yo.
Of course, because it. My guy, guys were responding to black Americans telling them, "I'm glad that the police are doing their job." It was crazy.
Guy.
It was mad.
No.
But that's
Guys.
not even the maddest thing, guys. The maddest thing, and the reason I'm telling you about this, because me, I don't want to go too deep into that. You have to go watch yourselves, right? And see how the world is going crazy. Me, I just want to shout out the biggest and the baddest force in the world. Which country has the biggest and the baddest force in the world?
America.
Yeah.
They have the largest army, actually.
Yeah.
Russia.
Russia.
Hey, no, KOT is an army of its own.
Thank you.
Okay?
Kenyans
on
TikTok.
Twitter, my God.
No.
Twitter, TikTok,
No, that's
whatever.
yours.
Twitter.
That's
Kenyans
Cox.
on the internet.
What
That's
China
Cox
Cox?
now.
I want us
sorry,
to
it's
focus
Cox.
on
Yeah.
KOT. KOT.
Yeah, because that's what I saw. I was like, Kenyans are stepping into like defense of Africans. I was like, where am I needed?
No.
What happened?
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Like, we don't only have a KOT,
Yeah,
as in
yeah.
a force online. Because, like, think about it. If the future of warfare is going to be happening online.
Online,
Yeah.
honestly.
And countries are already starting to align themselves wananunua sijui TikTok,
Yeah.
Twitter. Kenyans, we don't even need that.
We
Fungua
don't.
platform,
We are
sisi
fine.
tutakuja
We
hapo.
got you.
And our force is even stronger than KDF. Our force is even stronger than Navy. By the way, me, the next Madaraka Day,
Yeah.
I want to see when the president
yo-
is like, hiyo kikundi unaona hapo, hiyo ni ya Navy. Hiyo kikundi ya next unaona hapo, hiyo ndio GSU. Hiyo kikundi ya next hapo unaona, that's actually the biggest force. Hawajawahi ushindwa.
Never ever.
Key position.
Never.
These guys should be sent to Haiti.
Because
Hiyo
see-
kitu itaisha hivi one time.
Let me tell you how powerful it is, because I didn't even know anything to do with what you're talking about. But yesterday when I was on TikTok, my search bar was showing me Kenyans stepping in to like support South Africa. Me, I just had Avengers assembled. I was like, where are we needed?
Bro.
Whatever we are defending them, we will defend them. I don't even know why we're fighting, but we're fighting.
Why do you think I'm wearing
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
Military regalia? Eh?
I didn't even know what the hell was going on, but my search bar showed me Avengers Assemble. I'm like, where am I needed?
It is crazy. So all I'm telling you guys, do not. In fact, there's a guy. If you want to know how crazy our force is, I'm sure you've seen the video of the lady telling guys, if you're ever going to get into a beef online, right? Don't enter a beef with Kenyans, South Africans, Nigerians. You can think you're arguing about this. You can think you can go low, but they will remove that
take you to hell
and take you lower.
Basement, right? You know, the basement for hell. That's where we will go.
In this beef, there's a guy who was asking. He just switched on his camera and he asked, Kenyans, are you okay?
No, we're not.
Are you okay? Like, you're not even arguing on points. I don't care what
it doesn't matter.
Tunaingia tu hapo kati tunasema kwani kuna nuka hapa nika sijui nini. Like, my guy,
it had nothing to do with that.
Nothing.
You know those arguments where you bring the entire family and your mother and your brother and your sister, all of you. My guy, you're now the problem.
You're responding to some. Even South Africans are crazy. There's a babe who her response. She's called Minister of Defense. Guys, make sure you watch this beef. She went online and just started picking cotton. And then she said,
Americans
this is how she's celebrating New Orleans Black Americans culture. See, they insisted that they were celebrating South African culture. They said, this is how I'm interpreting Black American culture.
A moment of silence for her brilliance.
The next one, she was like, bro, it got bad. When somebody's telling you, I'm glad the police are doing their job. Just know. But also, this is what I'll say. This is what I'll say on this beef. I think somebody is trying to bring division amongst black people.
Yeah, divide and conquer is always
TikTok. I'm so convinced that there is an external force that's trying to pit black people against each other. Because this beef for the first time I ever heard about beef between Africans and people African Americans is there's a very derogatory term that Africans have for black Americans.
There
very
is.
derogatory.
I thought it was the other way around.
My guy.
Oh shit.
Africans have a term for black Americans.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah?
All Africans wanajua. Muko America, you know the word. Don't say it, don't put it in the comment section. It's just the same way I've told you that Somalis have a derogatory term for
Africans.
For sub-Saharan Africa. Right?
True. Okay.
The top part.
North Africa.
Yeah. They are not even Africa. Do you know Morocco tried to apply to be in the EU?
It's okay.
It's
okay.
Get out of here. So that's why they're Africa.
Get out of here.
Ew.
It's okay. It's okay.
Actually, you want to get into the EU?
Yeah.
Ew.
But from Morocco, you can see Spain. Like, it's...
You can
from Kenya.
Unaweza
From
tema mate,
Kenya,
you can
Nikki Panda, Mount Kenya, I can see Morocco. Over there.
Morocco.
No, but anyway, Africa, I'm just telling you, pay attention.
Put some respect on Kenyans, my guy.
There's an external force that's trying to divide us. Because these arguments about who is what, where, we are all from the same goddamn ball sack.
Those arguments annoyed the hell out of me. You guys are not seeing who benefits from us being divided.
Do you know the worst part?
Like, it's right in front of your eyes, guys. Stop falling for it's the same trick they've been using for years, decades even.
Who is they, though?
Do you know the worst part is of this whole argument? Go to the comments and find some random white guy who you can tell just hates Africans. He's just like, I don't know what brought me to this side of TikTok, but I'm glad. Continue with this shit, niggas.
You know what I mean?
Right? At that point, when you come and find two people arguing about sigara moja, right? Do you sit there and start saying, okay, Ebu, let me hear your side of the... They're just like... Na hiyo ni kwanza ni nyongi. Nilikuwa nimeweka nyongi yangu hapa.
Nyongi is half a cigarette.
You know, they come to you and they're just like, you both look like goddamn idiots. I'm not saying we look like idiots, but I'm just saying
we look like
fits.
Idiots. Honestly, when we're out here arguing over some dumb shit,
we gotta check ourselves.
We need to check ourselves.
Anyway, what's your story?
Moving on swiftly. So, hey, mine, let me just... It's I feel like it's straight out of a movie. Let me just show you guys something. Okay.
While Joyce is looking for her story, guys, remember to watch Sarabi, which is on Maisha Magic East. If you haven't watched it, make sure you watch it. Us guys even told you the whole story, okay? And shout out to Maisha Magic East for supporting us on Disca podcast.
Yes.
Story number two.
So, there's this lady, let's call her Susan. I need to give her name because I don't think they
Stacey.
actually said no. Tumetumia Stacey sana. Acha
It's
tumwite.
Stacey.
Ni
Sawa,
Stacey ama
Stacey.
Joyce.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Stacey was a waitress at a diner. I'm assuming this is an American babe at a diner, and customer decided to tip her a lottery ticket. You know those ones you go and buy for $1, $2, $5, whatever. He tipped her lottery ticket. She won 10 million USD. Her co-workers sued her for a share. They're like, even us, we want some of that money. We all work here, and we share tips or whatever. So they sued her. The guy who tipped her the lottery ticket also sued her. On top of all of that, her ex-husband kidnapped her. I'm assuming because he also wanted a piece of that pie. And then she ended up shooting him in the chest.
What the fuck? Sorry.
And then she sued the tax department for the whole debacle.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know if the suing cancelled each other out at some point. But that's the craziest thing I've ever had. All because of a lottery ticket. If she woke up that day and she knew that lottery ticket would change her life, I don't know if she'd have taken it.
There's so many moving parts in this story.
Yeah.
So let's start with the co-workers.
Yeah.
So what the co-workers, was it in their right to also at least have a bit of that money? Because I mean, you served the food, I cooked it, I washed the dishes, I mopped the floor. This guy was so happy, he came and tipped you this.
Imagine.
You won 10 million.
Yeah,
So at least
USD.
give me something.
No, guys. You know, I'm glad you've mentioned that. I'm actually glad you mentioned that because yesterday I was watching, what's the show called? Which is my favorite Netflix show at the moment.
Which one? Black Mirror?
Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, no, I haven't watched that
I
one.
love it. Aki, everybody should be autistic, guys. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. You know, I have an autistic brother, but I wish he was vocal. Anyway, that's beside the point.
There's high-functioning autistic people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know, I found out, well, he was paying the bill and I found out there's something called kitchen allowance or something like that. So there's the tip and then there's kitchen allowance. It's been put in the bill.
Oh.
I'm never eating in New York. Nakwambia nikienda New York na beba pack lunch.
I
Pack
swear,
lunch.
itabidi.
Bruh, nilipe chakula, nilipie tip, nilipie kitchen. Sasa unalipwa munasha huyu
Nalipia kila kitu.
mwenye
Chakula
restaurant
imetoka
anawalipa nini? Anyway, so yes. Kitchen, kama mtu wa kitchen alikuwa anataka kitu, angeweka kitchen allowance. You understand? Tip inakwanga for service.
Yeah.
Haikwangi for the rest of the stuff.
know what I mean?
So me, when I listen to this story, me, I'm like, those colleagues ni
Why?
tumbo okay, I'm about to speak Kisi. Enda mwamu.
Black stomach.
Black stomach, you get it, right? Enda mwamu, which means, and by the way, let me tell you, honestly, English is not sufficient.
I now know Kisi.
Yeah.
Oh, because
But you get
Yeah.
Enda mwamu,
I get
the
it.
direct translation high slap.
Yeah.
You get
it gets
English
lost in
doesn't,
translation.
yes.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
it means is black stomach, direct
Yeah.
translation, which is, you know, I don't
is
call
to
it
mean
jealousy, but it's not. It's more than jealousy.
Yeah. Nile
Your
envy,
colleague
ile,
anapata kitu, and then you even take them to court.
My guy.
Hiyo ndio black stomach I'm talking
I'm
about.
I
gonna
swear
sue
to God,
you.
as who?
Right? You're just jealous. It's not even jealousy. Jealousy plus envy. In Kikisi, we call it enda mwamu. I don't know what you call it in English.
Yo, that one.
But that's
just,
what it is.
Yeah.
But then,
Now also the guy who gave her the lottery ticket.
that guy is mad. Hiyo ni
Why
ujinga.
see you now?
How can you
He
you're suing
wants,
me
he
for
wants
what?
it back.
Imagine,
Once you give
First
me.
of all, he was being cheap.
right?
He
He
thought-
was like, I don't have money. Here's a lottery
he
ticket.
thought he was getting away with not having to tip the waitress.
Right?
So he's like, you go try your luck on this. And she tried her luck and got
And
10
she
million. Now
won.
he wants the money
So
back.
what is he wanting? He wants now
He wants it
I
back,
deduct my
Mama.
10 bob
Eh.
tip and then I give him the
I wanted to
9
give you
million.
$10.
You take 10% to give me the.
What
My
ali
guy.
bebe
That's
anafaa kuja
mad.
nimpige coffee.
Honestly.
Haya, why was the
And
boyfriend
then
shooting?
the ex-husband kidnapped her. Okay, so I'm assuming she shot him out of self-defense.
Yeah.
Because she ended up shooting him in the chest. I don't know if he died. Okay.
Do you know, guys, let me
And
tell
then,
you.
Yo.
This babe, she brought this shit all on herself. That's all I'm saying.
but what I'm saying is, if she knew that lottery ticket would change her life,
Yeah.
you think she would have taken it?
Of course.
Nah, bro, me, I wouldn't have taken it.
Listen,
if I got like a Freaky Friday, like do-over, and I'm like, stuck your ticket, keep it.
Let me tell you what she did wrong. There's so many things there she did wrong.
What?
Right? Everybody knows that when you go to get your lottery, mtu akupigie simu hivi akwambie, oh, shabiki umeshinda milioni 3.
Siambie anybody.
Mwambie wewe usiokote sabuni hapo Kamiti. Hang up. If they call you again,
stop being stupid.
if they call you again, naseme aki walai tutakupigia kutoka shabiki, right? Mwambie baba jinyonge. Hang up. If they call you like 7 times, okay, now start knowing that when you're this is real, yeah?
By the
At that
7th
point,
time,
they tell you nimeshinda ngapi. If it's more than 100k, girl, piti atoi, get yourself a ski mask and go and collect your cash.
Yeah.
and tell nobody.
Tell nobody. Run the tape.
no
Look at this
one.
guy going to collect. Na amevaa nini? Ski mask. So this babe could have avoided all these problems. Nobody would have known. Colleagues, mi unafikiri
Yeah.
ya Kerry ati I tell you guys I've shindad ati Shaggy.
Mi kwanza alquit.
Ile jackpot ya CV Sport
Mi
Mania.
kwanza na quit.
Sport Mania, Sport Do. But then that's a really good name for a betting company.
Yeah.
Weka hiyo nini
Sport
chini?
Do.
Sport Do. Right? Sport Chums, right? Sport Hela.
Sport Ganji.
Sport GA. Sport Sport Guinea. I've shielded myself 100 million and anything I'm telling you guys. Guys, I'm continuing with my life normal for you guys.
Shit.
But my new friends out there,
Yo.
wanajua. I'm
You're
rich,
not
rich.
okay in the
You
head.
can't tell
Yeah,
people.
should have
not
stayed
okay.
quiet.
You can't tell
My God,
people
you know kwanza me
about
I'd go
money.
quitting my job slowly ni hame niambia watu oh you know I want to move to a smaller space. I agree I wouldn't tell anyone anything.
But they also, I didn't
I
quit
would
my
move.
job
But you-
because I have sport Guinea.
Alafu, by the way, ukiona ameanza kudisappear tunakupigia oh mteja nini.
Sport one.
But again, able write for us down there in the comment section. Which one of those sport names I've given
Sport name.
would you? Because
Sport do is genius.
Tunaweza
No,
anzisha.
Sport do.
Sport Guinea,
Genius.
Sport Do.
Sport do is the one.
Okay.
Sport Do.
There you're on the money.
Yeah.
You're
So
on the money.
all I'm telling you is the baby's done. She played herself.
She played
Kwani she went
herself.
announcing ati
I
and the winner of the 10 million guys. Guess what? Baka
No, but
unapigia
you see,
X.
they usually like
How
take
does your ex
pictures.
know?
No, see, they usually take pictures and
You don't agree to it.
Or
You're
you
gonna
go-
take pictures. You might end up like this babe. This Ebu, look at this babe. She won every single lottery and went there with the
Nani,
Her
what's her name? Who's this? The luckiest girl in Nairobi, or is it Kenya? Have
Yeah.
you seen her? Hope somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The one who apparently wins everything.
yeah.
It's your parents who didn't give you a good name. They had no hopes in you. Hope amejishindia. Anaingia hapo tu akisema
Guys,
ma hopes
stop.
Her hopes were
nimezibanka.
high.
Yeah. But anyway, huyo dem ndo alijiplay.
Yeah,
In
she
fact,
played herself.
even without a ski mask, she should have gone to her makeup artist. Namwambia make me look like J-Lo. Make sure ni mzungu.
No, and I've gone to
Watu
like a
wanafikiria ni dem mwingine light skin. And then I go come nime kneel down. I even look like I'm paraplegic. Nafunika miguu. But guys, I'm telling you, nobody would even know it's me.
Ndio maana huwezi shinda hizi
Money
vitu.
with Africans.
Ndio maana huwezi shinda hizi
let me
vitu.
tell you,
Hata unaweza
siko-
rogwa.
Siko baya, wacha nikwambie tu ukweli.
You just say
Every-
you'll kneel down watu waone mfupi.
mi
Wasijue
nikiwete
ni wewe.
walai skiza Africans, let me tell you, Africans cannot be trusted, not in a bad way. I know we started with Africans. The other day I was watching a video of a guy on Instagram, I think, or TikTok, and see, my folks now, they live in Kakamega, right? Before, when they were living here in Nairobi, if you'd have told me at all these stories, I'd be like,
Lies.
It's a lie.
yeah. But now they're there. Hey, you can't have anything in shags. You can't be richer than anybody in your shags. You can't
Usionekane umemake it.
my guy
Stop.
usiwai ata lift. So this guy was sharing his story. He's from Uganda. And his uncle went and chomaed their whole harvest.
Why?
You know the way you've invested, like with your dad, you're doing some
Yeah.
farming. He came and chomaed the whole shamba.
Why?
See, jealousy.
Jealousy.
Enda mwamu. Jealousy. You see these English words that they don't slap.
Yeah.
This one, it's a black hat.
What
black
do you
stomach.
mean?
Somebody has just seen na hizo mind zake moda zinakaa zimepop, anakuja anamwaga, or even animals. My mom has worked. I've invested. I gave her nini money to put goats. All of them, like one by one. Somebody kills them.
Stop it.
You
Yes.
just
Go
come
and
and find
poison
somebody
them.
has knocked it on the stomach. It's dead there. Somebody has poisoned that one. It's crazy. Like, this is Shag's behavior.
Hii mentality tulitoa wapi shwali?
Yeah, so-
that's a very scarce like mentality
By
to
the way,
have.
we'll delve into this particular topic in another episode.
Yeah, we need
Hit
to.
us up in the comment section if in your part of Africa, these stories are there.
There's
Because I've
something
had
like
it in
that.
Uganda, I've had it in Kenya. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hiyo hata usiniambia ati ngo ngi nga nge. In Shags is crazy, man.
I
And I think
actually
maybe some
didn't know
Shags
that.
are worse than others, but
Yeah.
like
Really?
I can tell you in Western, apana.
It's bad.
It's
Buyer.
bad, yeah. It's like somebody would rather it's not that when they take yours that they're stealing. No, they don't want you to have it.
All of us are not having.
Yes. Or even Shamba. In fact, I saw Mukisa Kitui talking about his farming, because like now I'm really trying to get it deep into farming.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the first day he did a fish pond. So he set up a fish pond. He's selling he's into fishery.
Yeah.
So he set up this huge fish pond in his farm. Guys could just their mosquito nets.
And fish.
Imagine.
They
Do
bebad his
you-
fish.
Kijana anakaa huko anaambia
Samaki
nani,
ya mheshimiwa.
What
Opio.
do you mean?
kwani nini tunafanya nini weekend? Si tuende to fishing. So the Pope died this week, man.
I saw that.
Pope Francis.
For real?
Yeah, on the day of Easter. Is it Easter Sunday? When Jesus has risen.
He died. He was like, I'm going to join Jesus. Oh, sorry.
Was it April?
Walipigana
Jesus
tapo.
early raise, bro. Jesus is alive.
Okay, so where is
The
he?
Pope is dead.
Yeah, no, si wali nini?
Walipigana
Tag team.
tapo.
Jesus is in your heart, babes. Jesus is everywhere.
How do you know what is in my heart?
Jesus, just call on the name of
How do you
Jesus.
know what is
Jesus will
inside
be
me?
there for you. Anyway,
It's
no,
like
but for real
WrestleMania.
though,
Jesus was like this.
because
Tag
did you watch the Pope's Easter Good Friday's preaching?
He had a preaching. Bro,
Bruh.
you know me, I don't follow
You know,
these
there's
things.
some things you see mpaka you're just like, alikuwa mebeat, man. Alikuwa mechoka mpaka you're just like,
He was telling us, I am
He's-
on my way out.
He's always been on a wheelchair for a while.
no,
huh?
but he was beat.
Yeah.
Alikuwa as in energy yake ilikuwa yani hakua. But anyway,
Alikuwa ameanza kuleft.
yeah, but he was he used to be a bouncer for a club.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
he did.
What do you mean he used to be a bouncer?
Bouncer, like security.
Guys, when?
Like,
in
what
a
do you
club
have
in
in your
Poland.
bag?
The club in Poland back in the day, Warsaw. Do 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 do. Uko hapo. Uko hapo nje tu unasimama unangojea ati let me check your bag. Alafu unasema would you
Yeah,
gonna
but
tell me?
when was this?
Anaku check in the
But
name
when
of
was
Jesus.
this? Wasn't he like 100?
Before.
So
In
was
his
this in like
younger days. Kwani you
like
think he was
in
born a pope?
1920?
No, but like back in the day. Yeah.
He was like 88.
He was a club pope, like a
Not
bouncer.
100.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So as in basically he was like, they call him the sinner's pope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a guy who started. He's not at holier than thou.
He
Yeah, 'cause
started as a...
yeah, he brought in things like he said if you are divorced and then you marry again, usually before in church they used to say that you can't
married
you
again.
can't get
Yeah,
communion.
yeah.
No, if you divorce and you get married again, if you go to church they won't give you communion. But he was like he'll do it.
It's cool.
Yeah, and then
Is he the someone who said gay marriage is okay? I mean, it's not the same guy.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's the
he
same guy.
he said the church need to like also bless.
No, he didn't say
gay
gay
marriages.
marriage is not okay. He didn't say it's not okay. He said if you're married gay,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you can't receive blessings.
Yeah.
So it's not. You see how it's very easy to turn
Yeah,
his words
yeah,
around.
The cardinals can bless.
Okay, my bad. Yeah,
and then
that's
he
what I
also
was like.
says just because you're gay doesn't mean that God doesn't love you.
Oh, okay, that's probably what he said. And then everyone's like, the Pope said being gay is great. And there's nothing
No,
wrong
it's
with
not.
being gay,
It's
but
not.
like
It's
there was a
not.
headline about
It's
it.
not. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, RIP to that guy. He was clearly a, what's the word? Is it a maverick? A pioneer.
Yeah.
He did things differently.
bro, did you
know
see
what I mean?
guys
I
working
looked at
the
him
next?
as a cool pope.
Did you see guys working Rao Run The Tape? And then Pasari's Kasirikan on this story, she went to parliament, bro.
She got picked.
She was in parliament telling us, and for you guys that you're just saying you're putting Rao as the picture, you need to respect Rao, you need to respect the Pope, you guys, you need to you think I'm playing? Run the tape.
Me, I'm laughing at your imitation. Why do your imitations always involve
God.
sopranos?
I kid you not, that's what
She said-
Run the tape.
Mr. Speaker, I've seen a lot of people on social media, the ones who have no respect, actually painting a picture that shows that they have no respect for a man who lived with God and ruled over 2 billion people as a spiritual leader. by putting Raila's image and putting Raila in pop clothes. I think that is so disrespectful. I want to tell our Gen Zs out there are those of you who stand for certain values, and we respect you for your values, but do not allow those values to be undermined by those that have no respect. You should have respect for Raila Odinga, and you should have respect for the 2 billion Catholics, and you should have respect for the Pope, who has not even been laid to rest, and you use his death as a mockery. It's something that you should be ashamed of. So let us hold each other with respect and dignity, because if we fail to do that, then you are actually a lost soul. We need to actually honor the people that we have in this world that do good. And Raila Odinga is one of them, and our Pope is another. And there are many others like that. So please, let us have respect and decorum when we are mourning somebody of such high astute and respect across the globe.
So this she'll speak up on, but nothing else.
Yes, sorry, Rex walinyamazia.
Nothing else.
But you know,
you even lost your words.
as in
Breathe.
she's causing at guys for I mean, what, like,
I just think it's funny
For
how
memes.
now she has a voice, but when it comes to all of these other things that actually matter, she says nothing.
but I think
those
it's
ones take time for her to, like, you know,
Go-
think
but this
about
one,
what she
like,
needs to say.
I don't even see what the
Rubbish.
problem is, because honestly I don't see what the problem is. It's not like they've taken a photo of Jesus and put Rao. It's just
you know
a
what I
human
mean?
being.
Yeah, it's another human being.
But anyway, I'm
That's
not
neither
Catholic.
here
Maybe
or
the
there.
Catholics can tell us if they were offended by
Me,
that
I'm offended
picture.
that she can open her mouth to talk about this rubbish, but not anything else. How many issues have we tried to get this woman to talk about, especially when it comes to women and femicide? You know, let me not get into it.
Yeah.
But she should use that same voice to talk about things that actually matter, not this.
All right, let's use our voice for things that actually matter. Do
Yeah.
you know the world is ending because the Pope has died?
What do you mean the world is ending?
So in the
Is this? Are we? I feel like I need to carry my flashlight before we get into
What do you
conspiracy
mean?
territory. What you talking about?
What do you mean?
Have you heard of the Pope's prophecy? It's a conspiracy theory.
I feel like
Okay.
at this point, if the editor hasn't put for us a spooky sound, what is happening?
X-Files.
At the Pope's prophecy.
Yeah, so deep in the Vatican, there's a book that was written by Saint Malachi in 1553.
Malachi.
No, it has a Y. It's a Y.
Can you shut up?
So,
Don't hear the prophecy.
It's a Y.
There's no Malachi from
Yeah, there's Malachi from the Bible.
this is a different one.
But this is
from-
someone from 1153. It's a saint from Ireland.
There's
with
no
a Y.
Irish saints.
Him. There is-
You do you want to hear the prophecy or not?
Ngoja kwanza.
Ah,
Saint Jameson is not a
St. Patrick's Day.
Saint Patrick's Day is near Jesus. Near as in the Christianity thing.
No, St. Patrick's Day, I don't know. But there's a saint from Ireland called Saint Malachi.
Whiskey.
Yeah, most probably.
maybe.
Yeah. I think.
Knocking that stuff back, bro.
So he wrote a book.
Bruh, there's saints even from Ireland.
Yeah.
Bruh.
He wrote a book in 1153 that book predicted every single pope from that time up until Pope Francis. And
Like he knew Francis was there was gonna be a bouncer. There's gonna be a pope.
yeah.
Shit.
He knew. So he predicted every pope from then up until now. And when he was halfway there, that is, when he was halfway there, he said from now up until the last pope, there will be 422. Okay, now my nini is.
It's
is
okay, you
big.
can just Google.
Yeah, you can just Google it.
Yeah.
The Pope's prophecy.
Yeah.
So now he predicted all these popes up until Pope Francis, and the next pope that will come in after Pope Francis, what he wrote was Judgment Day. It even gets spookier.
What do you mean?
Let's go.
Yeah, it even gets spookier in the Sistine Chapel, like where they've put the picture. There's a place around it where they put pictures of the Pope. So they created spaces for them to go on and put pictures of the Pope.
Right.
And then like it's like an empty frame, and then they go and put a picture. Empty frame, they go and put a picture. After Pope Francis, there was only one left. So now
Maybe because the frame guy didn't come to Joboa and died.
The fra-
nini ya kumaliza consignment.
the frame guy was Michelangelo.
Don't frame Michelangelo, you guys.
Ah,
He's the one who
So
made the
dumb.
Sistine Chapel,
Yeah,
like
see,
the
now maybe
inside.
Nini Michelangelo Jr. ako amezaliwa.
So now,
The work must continue.
so now the theory is like the church and the cardinals, they usually go by the Pope's prophecy by Saint Malachi, and they usually make sure that whoever is going to be made Pope, they usually pick according to what Saint Malachi picked.
Yo.
And then there's also another book that was written by Pope Pope John the 23rd. He said that Judgment Day will come 27 years after 27 years after they mark Jesus dying, after 2000 years when Jesus dies. That counts down to 2027. Saint Malachi, on the book, have you googled, there's something about 422 years when he was halfway there. He said from like right now we are halfway. While he was writing the names, like he wrote the names from 1154 all the way till like the end. When he got halfway, he was like, right now he's halfway there, and it's gonna be 422 years up until the end of the world. That dates to 2027, and it also coincides with Pope Benedict the 23rd, Pope John the 23rd, saying that Judgment Day will come on 2027. So basically, the next Pope is going to be the last Pope who will...
Before the world ends.
Yeah, before the world ends. And this is the Pope that Revelation says that will be the world leader that will confront the Antichrist before he dies. So basically, this is Judgment Day. And that's what the Pope's prophecy is all about.
Do you know, it's so crazy. I mean, it sounds very interesting.
Sounds very conspiracy-ish.
What does Google say?
All that stuff he's talking about is actually there. It's but it also says that, remember, this is a conspiracy, right? And yes, is the prophecy of the papacy a real thing? Yes. Did he write these things? Yes. Right? Have they come to pass? People draw conclusions, right? Especially the components of the conspiracy theory. Like, for example, you know how if, for example, today you want to believe that your T-shirt is fly, right? Trust me, you'll only be hearing from people who are making those kind of comments.
That is fly.
Yes, that's the only thing you'll hear. So the thing about conspiracy theorists, right, is that you have to be able to challenge your mind. Right? Not ati enyewe, right? Ask yourself, because if you want to see a pattern, you will see a pattern, right? You everywhere you'll see a pattern, and the proponents are the ones who are saying, you see, this, when he said this, it means this. I think there's need for more reading, and since it's there, before you fall for the conspiracy, I think maybe read, because there was a time when I finished high school till about 25. My guys, najua YouTube ilikuwa. So what happened was I used to be doing deep dives of content on YouTube. And YouTube was new that time. So what was happening, there was videos about Illuminati, 666. Those were the ones that are giant. There was no even content creator.
You know what I mean?
The only content creators were those ones who were talking about Illuminati.
Secret society.
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah, Illuminati.
Yeah, remember even that song that Rihanna is in with like the Nini? They were like, yeah, you know this.
The slow motion, the Pope even has one where he has done this. It's crazy.
I saw someone take Akon's picture and say his nose is like triangle and shit. I see this guy is Illuminati. I swear.
Honestly, like, let me tell you. So
like, there's a lot.
Bro, me hata nilikwambia, there was a time I used to be afraid to touch the dollar bill.
Yeah, because of the all-seeing eye.
Stop
it's crazy. So the reason I'm telling you this is because I healed. Okay, I realized I was high strung. Every minute the day was the life. Life was ending.
You are feeding into like your anxiety.
People
you know
are watching me. It was crazy. Everybody's trying to get me into an Illuminati. So it's easy. And you can see the dots when they start telling you, see the video. Anyway, good girl gone bad.
I knew it.
You know. Rain, what does rain
man?
Guys, let me tell you. Can I just...
Under my umbrella, he was calling the god of rain.
Have you ever had umbrella backwards?
No. You don't tell me you did it. Kwambog, you fell into the rabbit hole.
There was a whole video.
You fell into the rabbit hole.
There was a whole conspiracy theory about how Umbrella was a song to the devil.
Yeah.
After instantly flying, come on.
No,
People also
Sasa.
did things backwards.
Guys, you never watched that meme. It was such a thing. Apparently, Rihanna had sold her soul to the devil.
Yeah. Now
And so,
Umbrella was,
Yeah.
was making her,
the
and that's
god.
why
Was
he
Rain
said
Man.
at the beginning of the song, he's like, and then he says, "Good girl gone bad," and then and
Even remember.
and then she was walking on her tippy toes. Remember in the video, she was like this, like a ballerina.
Because she can't step on the ground.
Exactly.
Because it's hallowed
And
ground.
then the umbrella, it was
Stop.
now the force was around her. The water that guys. Usiwai ingia conspiracy theory mode.
But still,
Usiwai.
Okay, so me, this is
still,
how I
this
see
guy
it.
says the last
Analyze.
pope, yeah,
Be critical, guys, of any information you get.
he didn't give each pope at say at the first pope would be Pope John the Baptist. It's not him. He gave
guess what?
no, he just gave cryptic descriptions of
Guess
who
what?
this person is and their character.
That could be anybody, bro.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
that's what you say.
If
that
you-
that could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
Yeah.
But then again, there's also an argument of do you think that whatever happens in the conclave, because nobody knows,
Yeah.
the cardinals go in and we see smoke, we have a pope. You don't know how they discuss.
You don't know
You
what
don't know.
happened because I have an idea.
Yeah.
Like I use ever since I moved from conspiracy theory mode, bro. Now I'm like physical evidence.
Yeah.
All right. So what do we have here? We have people who drink wine who have gathered in a place together, right?
Yeah.
These people actually serve wine to their congregation.
Yeah.
Now they're seated together from different parts of the world. To me, that sounds like a UN bash that's happening. And how do I know there's evidence?
How?
They be smoking something in there for sure.
'cause
There's smoke
there's
coming
That's what
out.
that smoke
And then
is.
after that, they're very clear about who. No arguments, no nothing. They are clear. This is the winner.
Yeah.
Hey, kabangi hapo kametembea.
So
Wamepapas.
people say
Wamepapas. Unaonaje?
Wewe ulikuwa unataka kitu last time.
Unaonaje?
Sawa, skiza. Gates are closed. We're safe in here. Shikilia kitu.
First of all, let me tell
Kenya hii
you.
kitu sinakuanga illegal Kenya. Vute
do you
kitu.
feel like the Most High? People say
Basari sasa watching episode.
she would be pissed.
She'll be peace for the 2
People
billion
say
Catholics.
they look at this prophecy and then they look at the description and then they try and figure out like who is the closest to
Oh,
this,
for real?
just so that they go on and follow
Yeah,
the
so that it
prophecy.
fits into
so that it
My
fits
guy.
in to it all the way up until the end.
You know
Because
how
the last one says Peter the Roman will be Pope, and then the next thing is Judgment Day.
You know what it is? I know what's happening. It's racism. Okay? That's what's happening. When there's officially a time for an African to be a pope,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're saying ati ito.
It's the end.
Hakuna frame.
Imeisha.
Hakuna frame.
Imeisha. Material ilisha. Come box, please. Stop. Don't start. Please. Somebody help this girl. Material ilisha.
Okamwambia sasa tutakuweka wapi?
Au space imeisha. Kumejaa. Tumefika mwisho.
Nasema we'd rather have about some
Shukisha.
bro. No, but okay, honestly,
It's racism.
it's possible.
No, it's racism.
But then it got me thinking, right? The Mayans si walipatiana prediction yao
2012.
2012. So
Yeah.
hiyo imeisha hivyo ama
Yeah.
maybe they meant 3012.
Yeah.
Guys, what if
Ama
we-
wali
what
confused,
if
wali
we
calculate
died?
Ama in
vibaya.
2012.
What if we died and now we're like living in the afterworld?
chill.
You know what I mean? No, I thought we were going into
Did you actually
conspiracy
smoke
theories.
it?
Is there
Like,
no conspiracy
well,
theories in Central? Let me take you to Kisii.
But see, I'm giving you the
Have there
conspiracy. What
ever
if
been
we died?
Have there been ever religion extremism in Central? Let me tell you. By the way, did you see the religion extremism? The new Shakahola in Rongo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah? 57 people were found.
Yeah, that's bad.
Shut.
Yeah.
Crazy. There's so many.
There's a guy
so
with
many.
a head injury who refused treatment.
Yeah.
Saying that his God will heal him.
And I'm just telling the guy, teremuka from Rongo, ingia Gusii, tukufanyie brain surgery one
Very
time.
fast.
Without even hospital.
With no anesthesia.
You know, Rongo, by the way, you can walk till Kisii from Rongo.
Yeah, and hivyo.
No, ni Rongo by the way. Si hawezi fanya hivyo bro. Ati utembe kutoka Rongo hadi Kisii. Hey, you're the wrong guy. Anyway, yeah, so I saw this nini in Kisii. I think it was 2090. I can't remember which year it was, but I think it was the 80s. Do you know there's a guy who came with the end of the world story in Kisii? It was so crazy. I've told you the story. They even jumped off their rooftops and they broke their legs. It was crazy. As in, ilikuwa time for ascension.
No,
bro, guys, it was on the news. Guys,
wait, hold up.
Yeah, what walikuwa juu ya muti.
They jumped so that they...
Pastor anasema sasa tunaenda tunatumbukiza kwenda mbinguni. Guys, they jumped. It was crazy, guys. Like they had locked themselves in the house. They were going to burn themselves. It was crazy. Right?
I feel so bad for laughing.
I know. So, and I remember, I'm asking a question. Ngoja, I'm asking a question. Uganda, there's been an end of world at the end of year. These guys decided to have an end of world bash, right? And hundreds of people died in a house. They locked the church, they burnt it because it was time to go to heaven, right? So this end of world conspiracy theories,
crazy.
To my question, are very important to human beings, right? Just the way it is important to mark the day you came onto this earth, it is very important for humans to mark the day you will leave. But more importantly, because there's no human who wants to go, right?
Yeah.
So you create a story that it's going to end while you're here.
Might as well just...
Every human civilization has a story of the world coming to an end. Whether it is an apocalypse, whether it is an environmental issue, but the idea of living is very important. And so whether the story is made up or not, because even this one for this Pope, guys, we don't know whether it's made up.
True.
Right? I mean... we don't know. It's just the same way the Kisis believed their Storo.
And they actually
equally, that was their Pope. And that's what he said. The guys for the Uganda, the Mayans, right? And all these other religions that have talked about the end, Revelation, right? So which one are we supposed to believe?
Honestly.
The one that comes first. You know, when COVID happened, people thought
he
it was
said
COVID.
The one that comes first.
Yeah, I mean... Ikikuja, that's when you believe the world is ending. But speaking about church, please explain what is happening in this funeral ritual that's supposed to be happening in a church in Spain, and the priests are dressed like this. Run the tape. This video was doing rounds on TikTok. Everybody was saying, oh, look at the Pope's funeral. Why is the Pope's funeral like this? But I can say it's not the Pope's funeral. Like, as I told you, it's from a church in Spain, and they do rituals over Easter. And this specific ritual is supposed to commemorate crucifixion. So like this, the crucifixion part, they dress up like that. And then like people in the church will just walk. There's people drumming, and it just looks scary. To me, it looks scary and spooky.
I think the first thing when we saw it, we all referenced KKK.
No, for real. It was giving KKK. No, for real.
But I like that, you know, again, this is when, as an African, when I watch this, I remind myself that this religion did not come from Africa. Right? And that where it came from, they have the freedom to mix these things with. Because let me tell you something. When Christianity comes to Africa, they don't want it to mix with local religions or traditions, right? Or cultural rites. For example, like if you tell your pastor that I went I used more arubaini to support what I was, you know, my herbs with what the doctor gave me and prayers.
They're like, no.
You gotta only focus on Jesus. But I'm like, but the Spanish people who are close to where Jesus came from, this is what they're doing for Palm Sunday.
They're able to mix their culture with
this is what they're doing for Palm Sunday. On Jesus, Jesus. Hii ndio wanafanya. Wako kwa streets.
Kutoka kwao kwa kina Jesus unaweza tembea.
Hawezi.
Kwa kina Jesus.
They used to walk huko kitambo.
You're saying Spain and Israel ziko karibu.
They used to use camels.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, they used to use
anyways, what I'm trying to say is when Africans mix what they know, their cultural right, heritage
With
religion, mtu anakuambia hapana, hiyo si the Christianity. But this Semana Santa, which is the name of this ritual, is a whole week. It starts on Palm Sunday to Easter Sunday. Look, I like it. I'd love to see how it goes down.
Yeah, and it has actually nothing to do with the Bible. That's actually their culture that they're bringing into now. They're putting
mixing. They're mixing with the cultural heritage.
Na sisi jaribu kufanya hivyo unaambiwa hapa wewe ni mchawi.
Hey, but it's because religion, do you know back in the day you couldn't even do the way like now you have the freedom, you can go to a church in Karen, then you can go to a church in your shags and the pastor say fungua Petero kifungo cha 6 mnamo wa 2, right? I don't know how do you say chapter, how do you say verse,
do you Mswahili
mlango. Mlango, exactly, there we go, mlango
nadirisha.
Right? There was no translation, so the pastor would stand in front there.
Bro, you couldn't even preach in African attire.
The pastor would stand in front there and say, there will be judgment for all the niggas that don't speak English. If you don't speak English, you're going to hell.
And the slaves had different Bibles.
I'm not talking about slaves, I'm talking about Kenyans, right? So grandfather yako anaambiwa ati if he doesn't know how to speak English, he'll go to hell. Haya.
My guy, your
grandfather speaks English hapa paka unamuliza sir, why mbona unaongea ka nini the colonialist, and you don't know that he was told he was going to hell if he didn't speak like the colonialist. In fact, on that note, I'm not going to call it what Joyce called it, but like I saw this particular video on Easter, and this is how we're going to finish, and I saw it and I don't know why it just left me like
the bad taste in your mouth.
I don't want to say that. I'm just going to say, don't put words in my mouth.
Okay.
I saw this video and I asked myself, what is wrong with this picture? Let me run the tape and then you guys tell me what you're seeing.
My lord, are you under? Yeah? Are you under? Yeah? My lord.
I saw that video and what are your thoughts? Because I don't know.
Okay, if you have
something is rubbing me the wrong way, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I mean, first I want to say I respect people's religions, right? You have the freedom to worship however you want. But when I see this video, I don't know where.
If they have to kiss the cross, they kiss the cross. Do they have
I've
to
never seen,
go low like that?
I never see people kissing the
I see people kissing like if they have a rosary.
A rosary, yeah.
You know? Like I see that, but the actual cross, and then do they really have to go low? It just looks wrong.
I don't know. I saw this video. This is where we're going to leave it. Okay? We're going to leave this in the comment section.
Or bow.
Yeah, and I don't know, because in the life that I live, I don't usually and I respect. Like if I come to Catholic church, would I do that? I don't think so. This is the part I'd skip. I don't think I just sit in the pews and just relax. But I don't know whether this part.
Sit and sing hymns.
Have you ever seen this?
No,
I've never seen
weird.
it.
Is this what people do in church on Sundays? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Unless something has changed. It's
not
been a while
church
since.
I've been to.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've never seen this?
I've never seen this.
I've never seen that.
Is this Africans just being extraordinary? Wanajituma? Haya. Hit us up in the comment section if you've ever seen this. Maybe you can explain to us what's going on, which verse this is in the Bible, which devotion. Maybe it's part of a ritual that's been mixed with tradition. Maybe. I don't know. All right, we're going to leave it here. But guys, just want to remind you, remember to hit the subscribe button, comment, share, like, and let all your friends know. Guys, we are on our journey to 100.
Yes,
I think we can officially say we kick it off from here. So from the next episode, we're starting our journey to 100. 15 episodes to make it to 100. We need about 60,000 subscribers to reach 100K, right? And of course, at that point, when we reach the 100K and 100 episodes, we've got something special for all boxers. Trust me, you want to make this awesome. So let's start the journey. Make it happen. Get guys to subscribe. There are people out there who talk to me about the podcast and I'm like, how are you watching and I've not seen your subscription? Now najua nimesoma jina ya kila mtu hapo. I know everybody who was subscribed.
Hata sasa ukiwatch unajua kuna mwenye haja subscribe na una watch.
You're watching without subscribing.
And as I always tell you, man, like YouTube usually charges for subscription, but sasa sisi tumedecide tutakulipia.
Got you.
Free
you
for
just
everybody.
click subscribe. You see, they won't ask for your credit card.
Nobody.
Hit it.
Never.